Before we came to Yosemite, the only thing I knew about Yosemite was that it had big trees.
I watched a documentary on Netflix about the history of the national parks movement in the U.S. and Yosemite was one of the first ones, so I was excited to see that.
What did you think about it?
It was important to the history of the national parks movement, which was unique in the world.
I didn't even know that it was a national park, so I didn't have any idea.
I had already been to Yosemite when I was like 6 years old, so I had some memories of it.
What did you remember about it?
I remember El Capitan, the big cliffs, the big trees.
Oh yeah, because your brother had climbed El Capitan.
No, he didn't. That's not true.
But I thought he did and you weren't allowed.
No, that was Grand Canyon.
Well, didn't you think it was El Capitan?
It was. He's changing his story.
Yeah, you changed his
I'm not changing my story.
You told us that. So
Your
we went
brother-
El
your dad
Capitan
went.
is like
You
one of
said-
the hardest
You
climbs
said
in
your
the
brother
world.
and your
No,
dad
half
went?
dome. It was half dome.
Half
Oh, half
dome.
dome.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
You're
okay, okay. When we went to see El Capitan, there was a guy who went and walked right to the edge of that.
That was
It
Mike.
scary. No.
No way. I couldn't even watch the
That
guy
was
walk to
probably
the
the
edge.
most the craziest thing I've ever seen.
My favorite thing so far in Yosemite was when we first arrived. We saw all these deer just walked right in front of us and then crossed the road. The backdrop was perfect. It looked fake.
I think because we drove in late and got in at like midnight, so we couldn't see much when we drove in, and then when we woke up, going outside of the tent thing and seeing all the trees and the cliffs and everything.
Yeah, it's like arriving in darkness and then waking up in like the Garden of Eden.
My favorite part about Yosemite, I think, was just the opportunity to stay where we stayed. Like, it was basically just amidst all of the great formations. I don't know how to describe it. But it was just surreal being there and waking up and seeing El Capitan and Half Dome above you.
Yeah, I didn't want to stay there at first because I like really nice hotels. And so I wanted to stay at like a really nice hotel. She organized the whole trip. We decided to stay at this like lodgy place, and it ended up being really rustic and very bare bones, but like the fire pit outside was so awesome.
Yeah.
And Miguel tried s'mores for the first time.
Oh yes, it was amazing. My favorite part is just the size itself of the park. It's amazing how big it is and how you are surrounded by big spaces and clean and fresh air, and you feel really in the nature.
We saw a little bear cub, and we were really scared the mom would be close by. And we wanted to give the animals distance because this is its natural environment. But mom's calling me. Hello? Hi, Mom. And I was actually really surprised by the tourists. Like, I thought some of the tourists were actually a little bit like insensitive and rude. Like, they were going right up to the bear cub and getting right in its face just to get like Instagram pictures. And like, there's something very sacred about being in this natural environment. And I think that was a little bit surprising to me. But that's kind of negative.
Yeah.
Sorry.
My most surprising thing was that my sister liked the accommodations.
I can get down. I just choose not to.
My most surprising thing, I'm gonna go back to that morning when we woke up and we wanted to go get breakfast, and they had this huge breakfast hall. I love food and eating
And buffets.
and it was amazing. So you can get the wilderness part of like sleeping outside, but then also a big hearty
That was
breakfast.
I love that
The
a
Wi-Fi.
buffet made it into this.
And there was Wi-Fi there too.
Considering we were in America, I think that the most surprising thing was the fact of how people were so respectful, and they respected this nature, and they didn't create an American
Like amusement
Like
park.
Disneyland.
Yeah. We went to this like really cool area, and it was like all mountains, and then the water was just this like blue. It was so beautiful, and we just hung out there, and then the boys went swimming in it, which was really fun. We didn't want
That was really cool.
to.
Just in my
We had just done our hair. And we had to keep it good for a few days because we didn't have access to
It's
like
supposed
electricity.
to be rugged. You guys with hair.
We didn't have
you were
electricity
swimming.
for like a few days.
And
Otherwise,
Okay.
rude.
We're hungry now.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Inbred and living in cages in some dude's backyard in Utah. That thought is horrifying.